Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's time for another edition of Big Beefy's Boston Ballers Beat, where we talk Boston sports as highlights from the Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, and New England Patriots, acquisitions or trades or call-ups or whatever it has to do with Boston sports or sports all over the country. And now here is the man that will bring you the sports reports himself, the master of sports shenanigans, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to a very special episode, another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, episode 2668 of the show. I want to, this is going to be a very special edition of Big Beefy's Boston Ballers Beat. It's the 22nd edition. I figured, well, we're almost close to the end of the year. As we know, we're one more month away from that, and the holiday season's off in full swing. And off in full swing, as you know, you got Thanksgiving and Christmas. That's the holiday season for me. Those are my two favorite holidays, because everybody gets together, have some fun, eat some food, and hang out and just have some fun with your family and friends and all. I can peek my head out in my room and go, "Hey, what are you doing over there? You want to play some video games with me or something?" I don't know. Anyways, what's going on? Now, Big Beefy's Boston Ballers Beat. It's all about Boston sports, and also athletes that part of our Boston sports teams representing Boston, and athletes that were our Boston natives, as you know. And now, I have decided that this year, it's the first time ever, I am going to name my big Boston Baller of the Year. Boston Baller of the Year. That could be anybody from any sport. I would go basketball for the Celtics, but there's no one in mind for the Celtics right now, because I know the Celtics have been struggling, but to say the least, this season already. I can go with Jaylen Brown. That could be the only, as my nominee from the Celtics. If I do it by team, Jaylen Brown will be my Boston Baller of the Celtics for the year. And then we go to the Red Sox. I am going to have to go, this is a tough one, a tough call to make. I have to go with Roman Anthony on this one, because Roman Anthony finished third in the Rookie of the Year voting for the American League. Nick Kurtz obviously won it, and I believe Jacob Wilson finished second. Now, I think it's the first time a couple of teammates finished first and second in the Rookie of the Year voting. But I think Roman Anthony, for his case, he would have finished first if he had not gotten injured. Because when Roman Anthony came on the scene for the Red Sox, he was one of the reasons why the Red Sox even made the playoffs. And for the injury to happen, it happened at the worst time, because he would have been in serious contention. But Nick Kurtz for Oakland had a great season overall, and a great rookie season. So Rookie of the Year, congratulations to Nick Kurtz on that. Jacob Wilson, a second generation ball player, son of Jack Wilson of the Pirates. So to see that is cool. But Roman Anthony, I thought he would win it, but because of the injury and everything else, and stats wise, and Roman Anthony came mid-season, I believe, or a little bit later, and that could be another reason why I think he finished third in that. So that's okay, But I'm making him for the Red Sox. For baseball, my Boston Baller of the Year in baseball for the Red Sox. Now for hockey, I'm going to have to go with Marco Sturm, the coach of the Boston Bruins, because Marco Sturm has turned that team around. They were on a winning streak. And so will they keep that going? I don't know. We know the Florida Panthers are the team to beat in the NHL right now. And I personally do believe that, I personally do believe that Marco Sturm can help the Bruins out, turning that team around. And then football. Now, this is a tough call to make on football. I have a few nominees for football. You got Drake May, quarterback for the New England Patriots. Patriots are on a 7-game winning streak. All right, 7-game winning streak. You got Travion Henderson. I like to call him TV Henderson. The dude's got serious wheels, and he stepped up when Mondre Stevenson went down with a turf toe. Travion stepped up, and he stepped up big. Kyle Williams has stepped up big. Mac Hollins has stepped up big. And I mean, you're talking about a lot of folks who's stepping up big. Antonio Gibson out for the year, no problem. Travion Henderson, Kyle Williams has stepped up. I know Keishon Butte was injured, but he stepped up as well. Pop Douglas, Demario Douglas has stepped up. A lot, but I'm going to go with Mike Vrabel because if it had not been for him, all these players I just mentioned wouldn't have that opportunity and chance to help they contribute to the Patriots' success so far this season. Now, we don't know how far they're going to go. I was asked, are they going to make it to the Super Bowl? I don't know. Because the thing is, they got a lot of great good teams. You got the Broncos are doing well. Indianapolis Colts are doing well. You're talking about, we could see the second coming of a Brady Manning rivalry between Bo Nix and Drake May. Who knows for sure? Daniel Jones has stepped up for the Colts as well, so we could see, that could be a possibility. So I'm going to go with my Big Beefy East Boston Baller of the year for football. So far, I'm going to give it to Mike Vrabel. And Mike Vrabel has earned it. So all these players, they're also nominees for Big Beefy East Boston Baller of the Year overall, along with another nominee. And he is a fellow Massachusetts native by the name of John Cena. Now you've been wondering, okay, I know you do your wrestling show separate. John Cena is a fellow Massachusetts native, West Newbury, Mass. As you know, last night he captured the one title that has eluded him to become the Grand Slam champion, and that would be the Intercontinental title against Dominic Mysterio. Now, as you know, he's retiring this year. Next month, final month in the WWE, he's done. Now, you've been wondering, and you've been thinking to yourselves, okay, you've been wondering, why am I naming John Cena the Big Beefy East Boston Baller of the Year? Well, one, the man's retiring, all right? He's retiring out on top, like he should. And now, I know a lot of, there's some people out there that do not like John Cena. Hate him with a passion. They think he's boring. They think he's, they think he doesn't deserve it, and all that. Hear me out. With John Cena winning the Intercontinental title from Dominic Mysterio, it does a couple of things. One, it's going to help Dominic Mysterio step up his game. Now, as you know, there was a video of him being angry that the Judgment Day was never there for him. Raquel Rodriguez, Roxanne Perez, whereas, J.D. McDonough and Finn Balor. And it seems to me that I think Dominic has had enough of the Judgment Day. He's had enough of his father, Rey Mysterio. He's going to go off on his own. Maybe he could turn into a Stone Cold Steve Austin-like anti-hero. I don't know. All I know is this makes the Judgment Day storyline a lot more interesting than it is right now. That's another thing. The Judgment Day storyline is going to make things interesting. When Liv Morgan comes back, she's going to come back to a clubhouse in shambles. What is she going to do? Because Liv Morgan and Finn Balor started this whole thing. If it had not been for either of those two butting heads, it seems to me that this whole mess wouldn't have happened. And if Dominic's complaining, Dominic can sure, forget Finn Balor and Liv Morgan, Dominic can sure fall. You two-time Ray Ripley for Liv Morgan. Now you're two-time Liv Morgan for Roxanne Perez. Dude, you cost your teammates the tag team titles. You deserve to lose the Intercontinental title. I mean, seriously. That's why I'm glad that my man John Cena in his hometown of Boston, in Massachusetts, my home state, he has won the Intercontinental title. Now, what that also means is this. John Cena wants to see NXT stars go up against main roster stars. And I think it was Saturday night's main event. That's his request. You know something? He cares about the future of the WWE. Whether you like the man or not, he cares about the future of the WWE. And believe me when I say this. Okay? The man, he understands. Hey, Javon Evans is getting a shot at trying to take on John Cena in his final matchup. If John Cena holds that Intercontinental title either next week on Monday Night Raw, I know Dominic's going to want a rematch, or he could defend, Cena could defend the title at Survivor Series, or he could defend the title in his final matchup. Now, if Gunther wins it, now the rumor has it Gunther come back. If Gunther wins the tournament, I think John Cena should drop the title beforehand. That way, because Gunther does not need the Intercontinental title. He's held it the longest. All right? 660 plus days. And but let's say an NXT superstar wins that tournament, like Javon Evans. Imagine Javon Evans getting the opportunity of his life. Not only to face John Cena in Cena's final matchup, but try to take the Intercontinental title away from him. With John Cena's Intercontinental title, is going to make every wrestler step up their game in this tournament. We got 2 mystery spots open. 2 mystery spots open. Surprise spots. Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce are now keeping us in suspense in this. Imagine this. Who could be in those 2 spots? Who is LA Knight going to face? Who is Solo Sikoa going to face? LA Knight, we'll find out this coming Friday. Solo Sikoa, we're finding out this coming Monday night. I mean, you got to think about it. This is a huge opportunity here, you know? So, John Cena is my Big Beefy East Boston Baller of the Year for 2025. Now, yeah, the heel run that he did not pan out as well. But John Cena tried to stick through it, you know, and people realized, okay, it's not working. We got to get John Cena back on track to the guy that he used to be, and they did that. And look at it, paid off in the end. John Cena winning a Grand Slam. And Major League Baseball even referenced it. David Ortiz and John Cena. You know, David Ortiz played for the Red Sox. John Cena's a Massachusetts native. I can imagine, though, right now, Massachusetts is at an all-time high in sports. The Patriots have been winning. The Bruins are on a winning streak. John Cena's the Grand Slam champion. Who knows what's going to happen? I kind of hope that Eddie and Alicia Edwards challenge for the AAA mixed tag team titles. I know right now Joe Hendry and Thea Hale got the shot, but I'd like to see Eddie and Alicia Edwards step up against Chelsea Green and Ethan Page. You know? But might I digress. John Cena has officially won the Intercontinental title. So he's now in the record books as an Intercontinental title holder. Congratulations to John Cena. I hope, you know, this is the way your career goes on top by holding one of the most prestigious championships ever. You think about it. The Intercontinental title was a workhorse title. Is a workhorse title. John Cena has been the ultimate workhorse for the company in PR and everything that he does. Look at him making a wish. Making a wish foundation. He's done all that. Ultimate workhorse. You know, he's got the fans to respect him. Yeah, there's fans going to boo him. There's people going to boo him. People going to cheer him. Yada, yada, yada. So what? I always look at what Cena has done. You know, what Cena has done. He's achieved the Grand Slam. You know, he's one of the last men to do it. Hey, this is going to be an interesting, with Cena now as the Intercontinental Champion. Now, Cena probably in the back of his mind knew how much prestige that Intercontinental Championship has. And I'm sure he studied the timeline of that Intercontinental title. He probably thinking in the back of his mind, what if this Intercontinental title is meant something? That 16-man tournament, it could, you know, if he keeps the title till Saturday night's main event, because I don't think it's not going to be a very long reign. Either way, it's not going to be a long way because you got December 13th. That's it. Saturday night's main event. After that, he's done. He's done. 2026 will hit differently for the WWE next year. I mean, think about it. If he keeps the title up until then, December 13th, then that 16-man tournament not only would be a tournament to decide who will be John Cena's final opponent, but who will get a shot at the Intercontinental title. That title can mean more than anything right now. You know, John Cena, yeah, normally he's not the Intercontinental title type, but he is now. So it'd be very interesting to see how that goes. So it makes the last time is now tournament a lot more interesting with surprise names, like he said. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, anybody not working for the company. You know, with Cena holding that title, that could lure in a lot of folks. And I'm sure a lot of those wrestlers in the locker rooms of Raw, SmackDown, NXT, possibly TNA, AAA, who knows? AEW could be involved in this. Who knows? They're probably hoping their name gets drawn so they can have a shot at the tournament and hopefully be the guy who can unseat John Cena for the Intercontinental title. If Cena keeps it that long. If Dominic Mysterio says, I want a rematch, like you said, Raw's going to be emanating in Madison Square Garden this coming Monday. That's big because whoever the mystery opponent for Solo Sikoa is could make his debut at Madison Square Garden or make his return. It depends on who it is. So Madison Square Garden's got to be somebody big. So like I said, the next 2 weeks, last time is now tournament, has gotten a lot more interesting than ever. With Cena now as the Intercontinental title holder. It'll be a whole lot of fun. You know what the funny part is? Cena has not taken part in a War Games match, I don't think. So imagine they said, we need a fifth man. Who are you going to go with? Go with the original QB in John Cena. But I can see John Cena getting his hands on Braun Breaker or Bronson Reed or even Logan Paul again. You know, Seth Rollins could come back and fool everybody once again and rejoin the division. I don't know. One thing for sure is that John Cena from West Newbury, Massachusetts is my Big Beefy East Boston Baller of the year. He's retiring out on top. If you have him retire holding the one prestigious championship that eluded him, I can imagine. And there's no doubt that John Cena is the first ballot Hall of Famer. My personal opinion. I know everybody has an opinion on John Cena. Don't get me wrong. There's people that don't like him. They have their reasons. That's fine. But this is my show. My episode. Big Beefy East Boston Ballers Beat. John Cena's from Massachusetts. He's a Boston baller. I'm from Massachusetts. And if you don't like John Cena, that means you're not from Massachusetts. You're completely insane on this one. But, seriously though, John Cena, I've always respected all wrestling talent. Doesn't matter how good they are or bad they are, I try to respect all wrestling talent. I do respect Jade Cargill, but I'm going to leave that one alone. But, just let them do it. I'll act like a kayfabe, old school wrestling fan. Boo the heels, cheer the faces, make fun of the heels, That's why I like them. I'm an old school wrestling fan. But I've always been appreciative of the talent they bring every single time. Yes, I will have crushes on the female wrestlers, and Jade Cargill's not one of them, I like Nia Jax, though. I'm cool with her. I like Kairi Sane, Asuka, Io. I'm starting to like Tiffany Stratton a little bit more, too. I used to crush on Becky Lynch, and then she married Seth Rollins. That was it for me. Because she went cuckoo. If she keeps saying Sports Illustrated says it one more time, I'm begging her to pose for the swimsuit issue. You know what they should do? Get the women of AEW and WWE get together in TNA and have a swimsuit issue for Sports Illustrated. Women of Wrestling. There you go. But then again, you get pictures on the internet. Everybody start going crazy over those. But I digress. So it is official. John Cena is my Big Beefy E's Boston Baller of the Year for 2025. Let's say, John Cena, thank you for your service in the WWE. Your success is great, and you are going to be a Hall of Famer. Grand Slam GOAT. Many people don't think so. That's fine. Of this era, he is. Of this modern era, in the 2000s, he is. You could say Hogan was the GOAT in the 80s. Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, they're tied for that in the 90s. But you got Stone Cold, The Rock. You got it's a big list. A big list of wrestlers that could be considered the greatest or an icon and all that. You take your pick. Hey, we'll say, Boston athletes representing Boston sports or representing Massachusetts. You got John Cena representing Massachusetts West Newbury. You got Tom Brady representing the Patriots. Rob Gronkowski, who signed a one-day contract just to retire with the Patriots. Hey, this is the team he got his success in. 3 Super Bowls with them. Like Tom Brady, retired. He decided to retire a Patriot too. Well, probably deciding one. Make a big deal. They got a freaking statue of Tom Brady. A statue of Tom Brady. And then you got the Red Sox. You can vouch for David Ortiz, all-time great in this modern era of baseball. I consider David. He's in the Hall of Fame, for goodness sake. And then you got the Celtics. I can vouch for Larry Bird in the 80s. It is sad, though. The Celtics would have been successful in the 90s. Len Bias and Reggie Lewis were still alive, I think. And it's a sad tale. I think the Celtics would have won at least 20-some. I think they would have been out of reach for the most championships if Len Bias. We'll never know for sure what would have happened. It's like we can't go and hop in a DeLorean and try to travel an alternate timeline to see whether or not what would happen to Len Bias and Reggie Lewis is still alive. The Celtics legacy took a hit there. And with those 2 players gone. But then Michael Jordan kind of saved the NBA at that point, being with the Bulls and stuff. So not bad, is it? Not bad at all. But bad for the Celtics. But they bounced back. They finally got themselves a championship in 2008 with the team of Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. And then they won it recently, a couple of years ago. A couple of years ago. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, J. Rue Holiday, all them players, man. So, yeah. So it was tough to find. It was tough to decide who would be the overall Big Beefy East Boston Baller of the Year. I have to give it to John Cena, fellow West Newbury, Mass. He with the capture of the Intercontinental title, he has completed the WWE. After next month, with all you John Cena haters, got your early Christmas gift: John Cena retiring from the WWE. But if you still hate John Cena, here's an idea: buy Mortal Kombat 1, unlock him as the Peacemaker, and then if you fight against him, pull all your fatalities against him. So, there you go. But I digress. So those who like John Cena and respect him, all I say is, don't worry. He's definitely going to the WWE Hall of Fame. No questions asked. So, that is it for Big Beefy's Boston Ballers Beat, episode number 22, episode 2668 of Eric Lima Shenanigans 1977. And tonight we got NXT. Then Gold Rush starts. Part 1. I'll see you guys later. Guys, have a wonderful rest of your evening. And until next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and Door for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.